everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D Sex Icon. Welcome back to another episode of Learn by Play here on the D&D channel. Welcome back, everybody. This is a show where we play Dungeons & Dragons and learn Dungeons & Dragons. I've got a full cast and crew back with me today, so let's go around, let's figure out who we are and who we're playing today. Let's start with Tall Squall. Tall Squall, how you doing?
I am doing great. Can't wait to get back into it and to all the fun and excitement. I am playing Miguel Otanaba, who is our resident warlock, who is, it's going to be interesting. He's a not really a peacock, he's more a parrot of a man, and brightly colored, very outgoing, high charisma, doesn't quite know how to fail at things until he does. So thinks he can charm his way out of anywhere. We'll see how we do tonight.
Let's see if those persuasion checks hold up again tonight,
right.
I believe. We also have Sydney with us tonight. Sydney, how are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to get back to this. It's been too long. It actually has not been that long, but it's been too long for me. But I'm playing Farron Hulling. She is a half-elf fighter, arcane archer, and she's very frantic and a little bit nervous and very glad that she has Rufus by her side.
Absolutely.
To protect.
Absolutely. We also have Greg back with us tonight. Grimjack, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, I am doing well. I'm going to mirror what everybody else said. I am excited. It's Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern here in these United States. I will be playing Zephyr, the Air Genasi Barbarian, last surviving sailor of the Tempest Beloved. That was his old crew. He's got a new crew now. And let's see where we go today.
That's right. And our final wild card of the night, we've got Chelsea with us. Chelsea, how you doing?
Doing great. I too am excited to be back. I'm bringing back old Rufus Big B, who is a rather large human monk. He's kind of a softy, both around his belly and in his heart, even though he's a very large man. And he's been through some pretty extreme bits of torture in his life due to his size and the way people have treated him. And he's found a little bit of a friendship with Farron. They've escaped the circus, and now he's kind of on this crazy ride with this group of wild cards. So yeah, let's do this.
Amazing. Well, before we dive into today's game, talk to you guys a little bit about what the show is. I here will take moments away from the actual play to talk through some different topics of conversation for creating your own D&D worlds. Of course, we are reinventing the realms today, so we are in the realms, but we're in a slightly different version of the realms than necessarily you might read in the book. Today we're going to be talking about creating NPCs to fit into your new worlds, and I have over here a PowerPoint presentation, no less, ready for you guys, which we'll get into later tonight. But let's get into what happened last week on the show, in case you haven't caught it. The players are basically in Neverwinter right now. They're working with Sindra Sylvain, back from Season 1, of course, in the Harpers, and they are trying to reach the College of Mages in Neverwinter because a new order of paladins known as the Wardens have come in, and they are cracking down on all sorts of magic aside from divine magic. So the mages are shortly to be arrested, and the party, working with a gnome named Fidget Lenome, a renowned thief in the area, are working to dig their way in and blow up inside the College of Mages, find High Mage Esmeralda, get her out of here, and then take her back to Fidget's masquerade ball and disguise them, hide them in plain sight. We'll see how this brilliant plan goes, of course. But the very last thing that happened last time is that Fidget asked Miguel to pick up some drugs for him just across the street, and it turned out that their half-orc companion, the bartender who puts the tender in bartender, Mutt, is the one dealing these drugs to them. So that's basically where we're going to pick up today. The party almost all together. I believe it is Miguel and I want to say Farron. Zephyr, that guy.
Zephyr.
That one, there we go.
I chickened out. I stayed with the ponies.
That's right, back with the ponies, which Rufus, I believe, has named, lest we forget. And Zephyr and Miguel in this dark alley in Neverwinter in the Noble District, speaking to Mutt, this big burly half-orc who's currently wearing the equivalent, the fantasy equivalent of a hoodie, and hoodie and jeans to look real street. And Mutt kind of looks out of you with his big, kind blue eyes. Oh, it's you.
Mutt, thank goodness. So, you seem to take care of everyone in the best possible way, including our friend Fidget the Gnome.
Well, yes, he's a friend of mine, and he asked me a favour. He asks me favours every now and again to, ferry things around when he needs it to people what needs things, like drugs or alcohol, that kind of thing. I'll go all sorts of places, me.
Well, it is certainly unexpected, but such a pleasure to see you again, my friend Mutt. I have the payment here. If you have the drugs, our good friend Fidget the Gnome is having a party this evening, a masquerade, if you will. Masks.
Oh, masks, very nice. They hide one's face, but that is fine. If they choose to hide your face, I do not mind. Yes, I do have the drugs, and he kind of like hands over the sack to you. But you know what? Don't you keep the money. I don't want it.
Why, thank you, Mutt. You are a gentleman and a scholar, as always.
Indeed, indeed. So you're working with Fidget. Is he on a job at the moment, might I ask?
Well, he is, Fidget the Gnome. He has many fingers and many pies, I believe, but he is going to help us out a little bit as well.
Really? Right, that's very good. That's very good. Because Fidget, he doesn't like working with all people, see? And I'm trying to work on him in that regard. He's got a, what I call a height intolerance.
Ah, I tended to notice that as I tried to, as I was maneuvering around inside his glorious miniature mansion.
Yeah, he doesn't really like folks that is a lot taller than him. It's why when I speak with him, I tend to stoop over to get down to his level,
Well, that is very kind of you. It also helps for the crick in the neck that one might also get.
Yes, very true, very true. I was telling that to my cousin Nick, Mick. I can't remember which one. I got two cousins. One of them's Nick, one of them's Mick. Mick, I think he's the one over at the College of Mage, and I was saying to him, just a couple months ago, you really got to be careful when you're reading all them books, not to hurt your eyes, and not to, get a crook in your neck, because that is a very possible thing that could happen, a potential hazard, and there's a lot of lawyers that come by that have asked me, have you had a work-related injury that wasn't your fault? And I say, Mick, you should say, your neck has been hurting.
You have a cousin at the College of Mages, Mick, a brother?
Is that what I said? Yeah. Cousin Mick, cousin Mickey.
He looks over at Miguel.
I give Zephyr a nod.
Could we maybe meet your cousin? If he's half the man you are, we'd like to have another friend here in Neverwinter.
Oh, I do like friendship. I can't refuse an offer like that. Well, I suppose so, but it's going to be a bit tricky getting to him. They're not exactly letting anyone in these days. We'd have to use the old sewer entrances.
Do you know the sewer entrance?
Yeah, well, you say every now and then, old Mick, he will ask for some ale. Like all the college lads up at the College of Mages, they're not allowed to buy it there, so I bring them in crates for all the, the fraternities at the College of Mages, and it's quite good business. Well, it used to be, at the very least. The last shipment I sent never came back, and, I'm rather worried that something might bad have happened to the people down there in the sewers, All sorts could be down there, intolerant folk.
Yes, I was concerned about the stores myself when, working out a plan, really, with our good friend, the gnome over here, Fidget. So, the sewers, you say, they are not safe, or...
Well, I don't exactly know, what's safe. I consider the only real safe place to be one which is incredibly inclusive and tolerant, but I'm not sure that a place like the sewers is really a safe place in that regard, but it also might be not safe place in regards to your physical health as well as your emotional health, in that there may be some things down there what might eat you.
Interesting. Yes, getting eaten is never very hospitable. So, your cousin Mick.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what he might be studying at the College of Mages, or just magic in general?
I'm pretty sure it's magic. I think he might be what they call a pyromancer.
Very nice, very nice. There's many great things that can be done with fire when used properly.
That's right.
So, have you ever personally made the deliveries through the sewer to your cousin Mick?
Well, you know, I used to, and then I got too busy with all my other business, so I just send off, lads to do that for me. But the last two, they never came back. So either they kind of got lost and found someone else, which is possible, I suppose, or it has dawned on me that they might be dead.
Interesting. I kind of looked to Zephyr. What do you think, my friend? Seems as though we have multiple options here in front of us.
We do. This one seems to be sneakier, but more dangerous.
Part of me is wondering why not both?
Split up.
No, don't split up, but nothing like a distraction before some sneakiness.
That is what they say, I think.
I'll leave the higher level tactics to you, my friend.
You are braver than I ever imagined, my friend. You say that, well, of course, you are bringing him his drugs. So you are good friends with Fidget. Maybe stand by. I run across the street and go get Farron and Rufus.
What are Farron and Rufus up to when Miguel finds them?
I would say they're probably chatting. Rufus is like, how do you sell drugs? Do you know how to sell drugs?
No, it's never really been something I've tried before. I don't know.
Does it always happen in an alley?
I think so. I think people try to hide it usually.
He's like petting one of the tiny pony, probably.
Keeping sunshine.
Right, so we just stand here? Is that how it works?
I think we're supposed to be keeping watch.
Oh, I didn't get that notice.
So I guess you stand there with your arms crossed and you look tough.
Oh well, people have told me that before. He gets a little embarrassed about it. He like blushes a little and digs his toe in the ground.
Well, Rufus, you got a lot of experience. You know, you were the strong man for God knows how long we were there.
It's true.
So you probably are like the ideal bodyguard for a drug dealer.
Well, nobody's ever told me that before. I've never really worked with drug dealers. Does this mean I'm a drug dealer?
No, I don't think so. As long as we don't touch them, I don't think that we can get in any trouble for it.
Oh, so it doesn't count if I don't touch it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes lots of sense. And I'm sure at this point we kind of turn and see Miguel running up, right?
Yeah, I'm like waving at them.
Oh, he wants us to come. Oh, should we do it?
It is Mutt. Mutt is the drug dealer. Come along, it's fun.
Hello, it's me. I'm a drug dealer. Hello.
Do we take the horses?
They're tied
I think
up,
they'll
right?
be fine here. We can see them right from the alley, I believe.
Okay. So does this mean I was told as long as I don't touch it, I'm not a drug dealer? Is that how it works, Miguel?
Yes, it is.
That's my rule.
Rufus says, so I'm hands off, but I'm here.
Yeah, me too.
Your hands-free drug dealer. I like that.
I support you and what we're doing as a group and as a party, but I don't want to.
So
I think what she's trying to say is we're a smidge nervous. You know, we've never dealt drugs before. Last time we had the job, we was just entertaining people.
Well, what I try to say is I try and have a very broad horizon and try and have many experiences what I might not usually do to myself, and so I've expanded my horizon to what you might call the criminal underworld. Other people might call that a den of villainy and scum. But I see it from the inside now, and I have to say it's not so bad, really. I quite like the alleys round here. You see the world, you meet a lot of people, interested ones, and at the end of the day, you are dealing a lot of drugs.
In the background, Zephyr's making a mental list of the things that Rufus and Farron will not do. And so far, he has arson, drug dealing, but the things he's perfectly fine with is contract killing. So he makes
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded
Cold-blooded
in
contract
public,
killing.
nonetheless, as part of entertainment value.
Public execution.
So, did we get to drugs? What's next?
Well,
What's step
yes,
one?
the drugs is just the beginning. Let me tell you of all the den of villainy that our friend Mutt
It's
is
really
involved.
very expensive when
You
you
know,
think
it
about it.
doesn't even sound so bad when you put it that way.
I must say, you are an equitable fellow, but you do some shady shit.
Thank you. I try. It's light and shade is what I always think. Light and shade. Later on, I'm helping out at the the granny club for the older ladies, and you know what? They do a lot of drugs as well. So just when you think you're helping nice people, they're the worst at it. So way I see it, we're all together.
Your outlook on life is truly the most amazing thing I have ever experienced in all of my years.
Thank you. So I was telling them about my cousin Mickey, not Nicky, and he's at the College of Mages. He's a pyromancer, what they call, and there's a sewer entrance that what they're very interested in doing.
Well, I mean, that's kind of perfect,
That was what I was thinking. Mutt, in for a penny, in for a pound, right? So,
Never understood that saying, but yes, yes.
I have only one question for you. By any chance, in your den of villainy, what name does this den of villainy that you have discovered go by?
Ooh. Well, there are a lot of names for den of villainy. I call it the DOV. Den of villainy. You go down to the DOV centre, you pick up some. It's a nightmare waiting in the DOV. A long line, really, yeah.
Must be terrible.
I've heard a few words been tossed around. Mad arrows. Mad arrows. Does that mean anything to you? There's some kind of arrows going round.
Yes, in fact, we have heard of the Mad Arrow, and that was exactly what I was wondering about. So, it seems as though you are in the den of villainy that we are most interested in becoming a part of and to experience the new experiences with. So, here's what we are up to, my friend.
Okay.
You see, we are concerned for your cousin Mickey and many others like him in the College of Mages.
Really?
It's true.
It seems as though these new paladins who are in town.
The wardens?
Yes, the wardens under this Marcus Pontimus.
Oh, yeah.
He is not a very accepting fellow, that man.
Oh, he's not, is he? Not very tolerant.
Not tolerant at all, especially of those people like your cousin who are casting spells and learning magic.
Oh dear. What are we going to do about that?
Well, I can tell you what we are going to do. We're throwing a party tonight.
We're throwing a party.
Oh, do you need some
Yeah,
drugs?
but we're not really invited.
So, the reason why we are throwing a party with all the masks that I talked to you about is because our good friend, the gnome, Fidget.
Oh yes.
He, as you know,
he's in
is
the DOV.
a very accomplished member of these dens of villainy. And in fact, one of the things that he's accomplished at is blowing things up.
That's right.
Apparently.
So I've heard.
We were going to blow up the alchemy lab of the College of Mages.
Right. Okay, that is a highly illegal act, but okay.
Yes. And as a distraction, we were going to sneak in, get all the mages, and sneak them back out and have them all wear masks like they were coming to the party so that we could sneak them back to your bar. Not sure if that's where you want us to bring them, but that was the best we had.
Oh, they're welcome at my bar. You know that. They're all welcome in there. I had to find some more rooms for them and get ready, you know.
By any chance, do you have someplace maybe even more secret than your bar? Do you have a basement, perhaps?
I do have a basement, but it's mostly filled with alcohol most of the time. But there's quite a lot of room down there for, you know, a couple of people in there. You know, I could put some people in there, I guess. Haven't really thought about that.
And as you said, these college frat boys like to drink, so maybe they can help you with your alcohol problem as well.
That is very true. Well, if it's going to help my cousin Mickey, you know, then I'll tell him, hey Mickey,
you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind.
He does blow my mind, and there are going to be explosives. So
there are
at the alchemy, right?
At the alchemy lab, yeah. All right. Well, how could I help? I'll show you the route to the sewers, I guess.
Well, exactly, because we were just going to try to sneak in the front door when the explosion happened, but that is, you know, very risky. And while there might be dangerous things in the sewer, especially if we have someone of your stature and great expertise along with us, perhaps the dangers in the sewer might not be as dangerous as all those wardens who are guarding the mage tower.
That might be very true. That might be very true, actually, yes. Well, I have forsworn all violence, and I am also teetotal on an unrelated note, but I will help you go through the sewers.
Are you absolutely positive that Rufus can fit through them?
Sewers are quite big, actually.
Well, Rufus is quite big.
That is also true. I would have to see, right now Rufus is quite close and the sewers are quite far away, so...
Here's a question.
I worry about him.
Do you fit in?
I do fit in.
Well, do you think if he fits, I'd fit?
I was just making sure because I don't know how actually big the entrance to a sewer is.
I know we're running out of oil. There's only so much greasing up we can do to fit me through the hole.
I only have a little bit left.
We only have a little bit of body oil left.
Down to the dregs, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just for comparison, I mean, I think you were saying that. I mean, when we were approaching,
Mutt's a very big
he was
guy.
this like 7 foot tall, shadowy figure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a big orc. I mean, is he bigger than Rufus?
He's probably about as big. He's probably taller than Rufus, but maybe not.
I mean,
as bulky,
like
Rufus is a little girthier.
I think,
like,
Rufus is more thick.
You don't take that.
But yeah, if Mutt can get in, then Rufus will presumably be able to get in as well, and it might require some, you know, struggling, but again.
Well, in that case, I will always respect your aversion to violence and your teetotaling as well. But as a guide, you would prove invaluable to us, and we would be most grateful, my friend.
All right, well, you know, just well, I've got time before the granny, so we can go down there now if you want.
Oh, right now we have to take the drugs back, right?
Well, yes, we need to take the drugs, but that's just across the street. I guess the question is, do we even want to do this explosion anymore? I'm kind of wondering if we can just sneak them right out. Maybe that's the thing to do, or should we wait for the explosion to sneak them out so that maybe there is multiple things happening at the same time?
That's what I was going to say. Come up through the sewer, blow up the alchemy lab, get them, take them down. They'll be, as soon as the alchemy lab goes up, they'll be looking at the gates, any doors inside. But if we take them down through the sewers, they might not be looking that way. If you want a diversion, or we could try to be sneaky, and he looks around at huge Rufus, the peacock dressed. Farron's the only one that could possibly get through this, and he's over 6 feet tall and blue. I don't think we're going to blend in with the urban night.
Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking people are going to think that we are entertainment for the party more than they are going to think that we are blending.
So I guess maybe we go now and we could maybe warn whoever we're sneaking out of our plan, so that way they're not the ones distracted by the lab, and we wait, and then when it does explode...
Yes, getting a message would be a very good idea.
And then when it does explode, we...
So smart and clever. Big smile.
And she like can't form any words. And she's like,
Hey, brother.
Breathe.
so we can do that.
So, I wonder if there's a way to get them a message before the actual sneaking out and the explosion.
Well, we could go see Cousin Mickey through the sewer now before we exploded anything up, I guess.
Sure. Another quick question. Maybe this mask thing is just silly, but how far do the sewers go? Will we have to come above ground at any point before getting to your bar, or will we need disguises, or can we make the whole way unseen underground?
To get back to my sewers, for sure, yeah. It'll be a bit of a longer romp, but, you smell a bit by the time we get there, but I reckon I can figure out a way back.
Smelling a bit is not necessarily a bad thing.
Already smell.
Having multiple plans.
I think it's that other turkey leg that you
I'm
did.
sweaty.
Yeah, I
Chicken wing.
I'm sweaty again.
I changed your seats this morning, I can confirm.
I appreciate it. So,
I
what?
guess we need to let Fidget the Gnome know that we are...
I've got. What if Fidget sends a letter to him? Can we get that way? We don't have to go all the way there, and then all the way back, and then into the sewers.
Well, someone's got to go through the sewers, isn't they?
Rufus, are you
we
nervous
go
about
through
doing
this-
a lot of walking?
The chafing is serious. No, Rufus is trying. He's like, no, I'm trying to save us a little time. You know, like, can't we just send like a carrier pigeon or something? Have we got to walk all the way up there and
There
deliver
ain't
them?
no pigeons what are going to go through sewers. I'm sorry, Rufus, but
No, for the letter. Rufus says, I give up. I was just trying to say there's no reason to hand deliver the letter if
sewer
we can.
pigeons.
Well, the only thing I would say is if we hand deliver the letter, we know that someone hasn't intercepted it and then maybe wanting to ambush us.
Well, if we're going, then we don't even really need to write a letter. We can just tell them.
That's true.
I agree.
Look at you. So smart.
She is. So this is why I keep her around.
She's just like beaming, like she's like a sun elf, and you see the sun just shining through.
Well, I guess we should go talk to Fidget and see how he feels about this whole new change of plans. And also, I need to give him his drugs.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Drugs.
one drop at a time.
I'll watch
Should
the
Be
horse.
sure not to touch.
Should we even tell him there's a change? Why would we tell him?
Oh, that's snaky.
You might not be happy with the whole not doing the explosion thing.
Well,
I think
He's
he
doing
does-
the
I think we
explosion.
still do the explosion. So yeah, what does he need to know, right?
no. Especially if Fidget might be sold to the highest bidder.
He did seem
Might be.
to quite easily agree to help us after I gave him a dead snaky thing.
You know, we tell him that,
Or I slipped him the snake, you know.
this might be a perfect way for the wardens to get away without publicly executing the mages. They could say they revolted. They said they found him outside of the college. It all could be a setup.
Ooh,
But
that-
if we let him know we're coming directly to Fidget's, but instead we take him to Mutt's, then Fidget looks like the rat. But that's just my opinion.
you
Rats and sewer
devious,
pigeons.
beautiful man. Do you see the deception that is happening here? I am so impressed.
It's so deceptive, I don't even sept.
Right?
Wow.
I do not sept either.
Goodness me. Right, what do we need to do? What do you need old Mutt to do?
Well,
I just
first
need-
we have to deliver the drugs, and we probably need to go check on the horses because Sunshine gets anxious when we leave her alone for too long.
It's true. Colossus
Crabby
can only
head.
keep.
Miguel,
I'll stay with the horses since I don't fit through his front door.
yeah, I plan on making this a very quick trip. I figure it's a knock and drop, if you know what I'm talking about, you know.
I do not know
Me
what you're
neither.
talking about.
Is that like the stop, drop, and roll?
It is very similar, except usually it involves a tavern, a cheap tavern, a room, and pants hitting the floor. And he runs off across the street.
I have all of those
Real
things.
knock and drop.
I own all of those things. Okay. So Miguel runs across the street.
Give a knock. I've got, I guess, a
Big old bag of drugs.
Bag
Here's your bag of drugs.
Whatever.
The waiter, kind of butler person opens the door. Yes?
I have a parcel for Fidget the Gnome.
Is it the parcel of drugs?
It is, yes, the parcel.
Yes.
It is the one that he is waiting for. It is the one for his party tonight.
Ah, yes. We are talking about the drugs, right? Definitely the drugs. Okay, good. He takes the parcel.
Cool. Let him. I give him. Let him know the plan is going to go forward just as planned. The plan with the plans will go forward in the party in the plan.
The plan. Wink.
Wink, wink.
He gives you a snake wink and closes the door.
Just to know, how much money did Fidget give me to pick up those drugs that now Mutt has not accepted?
He gave you 100 gold pieces.
Oh,
Baby.
those are some expensive drugs.
Can we please call these drugs spinners?
Spinners? Yes. It is a bag full of spinners.
Spinners?
They spin my head right round.
Baby, right round, I tell you.
Like a record.
Round, 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 round. This is going to go on all campaign, isn't it?
No.
So, my good friend Mutt, I guess we are ready to descend into the sewers of villainy and adventure that you have.
That's right. Yes. Sewers of villainy. SOV. What, you need some oil, Rufus.
No, I'm just saying. I like just the sewer part for me, not the villainous part.
Well, as long as you don't touch any of the sewer of villainy.
No. As long as I don't come in direct contact with the villain, I'll be okay.
If you don't touch it, then that's the rule.
Yes.
I'll be all right.
Also,
never touch the villainy.
Yep, and I hear as long as you don't make eye contact, then that's also not villainy.
No touching, no eye contact.
Yep.
So what am I allowed to do?
I think you're allowed to feel things, like in your heart.
Well, that's good. I've been told it's a big one. I felt all the things.
As long as you don't feel villainous in your heart.
You don't feel all villainous. That seems a stranger danger. Okay.
What I need, what you can do, which will be a huge help and will not make you villainous at all, if something tries to eat any of us, hit it with your stick.
Oh, I can do that.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
Yes, I can do that. He pulls his stick close as if he's kind of proud of the fact he now has a role in the drug delivery that's not villainous, even though he would be hitting people. So let's which way do we go?
Downwards first of all. Come over here.
Oh.
And Mutt leads you down the alley, and there's a sewer grate which he prizes off with a, and this waft of just like hot garbage just like drifts up from underneath. Oh yeah, that's villainous, isn't it? You smell that villainy?
Is that villainous? Is that what it smells like?
Smells pretty villainous to me.
Potent
villainy is at foot.
Imperceptible to the rest of the party. Imperceptible to the rest of the party, Zephyr's constant wind moves down and begins to blow across his nose in an effort to clear the air a bit.
Oh, all right then. Who's first? Maybe Rufus.
All right. He takes a whiff of fresh air before he hops in. And I guess he's wide enough he can kind of actually drop in the hole. And he plops down and drops in.
Nice. You fit inside and find yourself in a sewer, basically. There's sludge, big, thick, 20 foot of sludge moving down the cavern. In your direction, it's kind of flowing.
Well, that's good. I'm barefoot too, so it's great. It's real good. I feel the villainy between my toes. It smells real bad down here, you guys. He like yells up. He's like, but I don't see anything, do I?
No, there's nothing really down here. It's very dark. There's no torches. There's a sidewalk, but the sidewalk is like in a layer, a small kind of layer of villainy, if you will. Whereas the sludge itself, you know, looks like it'd probably be enough to go up to your chest.
Oh my god. Okay. Well,
Zephyr will jump down.
it's great. Oh, don't splash me.
Now he swings down by his hand, so he avoids any villainous splashes that might splash his stick.
Any villainous splashback is avoided.
Right.
Yeah. Who's next? Mutt is gonna go last to kind of like pop the lid.
I will look at. Boy, can I do this? Yeah, I'm gonna try to do this. So I take a look and give Farron a wink, and do a very like a flip. And like hold my nose like I'm jumping into a pool, but do a flip beforehand to go down. And with quite a flourish, I do 17 on my acrobatics.
Very nice. Very nice. Like a trained Olympian athlete, Miguel.
You do a cannonball into a pile of shit.
Wow, we needed a nat one there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Farron will just like she'll go to plop down and be like, Rufus, can you give me a hand?
Oh, yes, of course. And he like reaches up and like as you kind of come down, he like helps like gingerly set you down.
Thank you.
Mutt is the last to enter in, popping the lid up above. It's like, oh, that is villainous. All right, we'll go single file. I'll go first because I know the way. If anything does happen to try and murder us, what I will do is I will enter into a duck maneuver, for which you can leapfrog. You leapfrog over me into battle. It should be a little while, so you might want to wrap something round your face because it does get very villainous down here.
Okay.
Miguel has a beautiful embroidered, multicolored kerchief he puts around his nose and mouth. What do we got? I forget. Humans? Who doesn't have dark vision? Do I need to cast light?
I have. Yeah.
Let's see. I will ask. Mutt, is it safe to have light down here, or do we need to stay and skulking in the darkness? Our friend Rufus here is not able to see.
You could definitely light a torch, but you should not cast any balls of what I call fire. Mickey had a rough experience with that before. It does get very gaseous round here, I have to say.
Oh, I just thought that was me. I'm sorry.
No, not this time, Rufus.
It's a good thing. It's always me.
Farron will actually, she'll whip out like a torch somewhere and just like
light if you would like, or we can use a torch. Well, that works too.
Yeah, she taps the top of it and it lights. She uses prestidigitation as she does.
You even more tricks up your sleeve.
Yeah, that's so much better. Thank you. So plan is for you to lead the way, and I leapfrog over if stuff goes bad.
That's right. I do have a strong set of shoulders, so feel free to put as much weight as you feel comfortable on them.
It's more how much you feel comfortable. I'm a big gentleman.
Well, I'm a big gentleman.
There's a lot of big gentlemen today.
We are two gentlemen.
In the villain.
I was not deep in villainy. I think I would be turned on.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Rufus puts a big old, hand on your shoulder and says, well, tally ho.
Just remember, not villainous as long as there's no eye contact and you don't touch it. So, he begins to set off. Mutt begins to set off into the sewers, ambling along, the torch lighting the way for that group of you. So, everybody can roll me a Constitution saving throw as you head down here. It becomes very, very difficult.
Villainous.
Very villainous indeed.
Oh, not 20.
Oh, nice.
He's used to smelling himself as is nothing.
I feel nice.
That was not a nat 20 for you, brother. That was Chelsea that got the nat 20.
Oh, that's 17. Never mind.
Oh.
I'll flex for Chelsea.
Oh no, that's a 5 on your con save. You rolled 17 on acrobatics. Chelsea rolled nat 20 on Constitution.
Nat 20.
Falter, yeah, not Falter.
Never mind, Miguel. It is not handling the villain.
Miguel's like, I did so well. Oh god.
Oh,
Yeah. This is not bad at all. I can discover. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Will, do I get advantage on that because of my the breeze that I'm producing?
No, it's if anything, it wafts more
I
towards
was
you.
gonna say, it's only if there's fresh air.
It doesn't really keep the fresh in; it keeps the fresh out, and just all around you. Ambient villainy is what's occurring around Zephyr. But for Miguel, you have a level of exhaustion at this point. It's just becoming. You got a headache. It's just clogging up in your mouth, and just really slow going through this thick malaise. Feels like almost. Almost
I
like
am no
going
longer
through.
aroused.
But we'd all be worried if you were. Mutt, however, is feeling fine. He's been down here a fair while. You come to an intersection in the sewers, like a T-junction, if you will, I suppose. And you guys are coming up the main path where it splits in two. And up ahead, in fact, as you're coming down here, you guys can roll me perception checks. You can see despite being behind Mutt.
Ooh, 21 again.
Ooh, very
Look
nice.
at you. 18 for Fulton. That's not Fulton. I'm not Fulton. Why does it say I'm Fulton? Am I rolling on the right sheet? Yes, I am.
It's the just below your.
Yeah, I see.
Nice.
11.
Nice. So Farron and Miguel, along with Rufus, actually, everyone except from Zephyr, who's perhaps distracted with the wafting villainy around him, will spot something scurries and moves through the sewage about 40 feet ahead of you in the dark, which is about on the range of some dark visions, and some of you guys can make it out a little clearer, but it's just ahead. You think it's probably humanoid in size, and it scuttles off to the right, splashing through the water as you guys are coming along as though you disturbed it. Mutt doesn't seem to notice this.
Oh,
It's scuttered. Did you see it?
What was that? Sorry?
The thing, it's scuttered.
Something.
there's a person over there, and I think it's mad.
Sorry, I got lost in a daydream.
You should stop sniffing the villainy. It'll go right to your head.
Oh, sometimes that's the idea, but something scuttered. What is this scuttering?
Something. Should we try and talk to it?
Looked like a person almost, but it was like running away on all fours. It was not. It ran away, but do we need to worry that it might be getting some of its friends? I would not like to bump into friends down here.
No friends.
I always want to meet friends.
Not like friends to us. Friends to whatever that
Friends
that
that
was
might,
splashing around in the villainy.
Friends or friends?
Friends that might like to eat us.
That sounds like a very good friend to me. But if there are things down here what are trying to eat us, they're probably not friends. That's one of my first lessons I learned when I was, adventuring in my time. Things that try and eat you aren't your friends, no matter how much you try and befriend them. They only want your flesh. Something might be down here. If it was just one of them, it should be fine. But which way did it go?
That way. Well,
To the left.
Well, we've got to go that way, so keep an eye out.
okay.
At the sound of scuttering and skittering and things that he hasn't seen, Zephyr pulls out his shield and warhammer, but leaves his cloak clipped.
Nice. Yeah, Rufus, he just kind of has his staff ready to go.
Mm-hmm. The length of the sidewalk is about 5 feet, so it really is only big enough for, you can push past one another on it, but it's not big enough for you to spread out, and unless you were to go into the sewage itself, which is flowing, it's swimmable for sure, but it is fairly, thick and fairly fast moving as it's going past. You turn to the left and head down this tunnel. The skittering and scuttering creature has clearly gone in this direction, and you're coming down this dark corridor. Presumably, I think Rufus is right behind Mutt at this point. Rufus, you can drop me a perception check here.
Yes. 16.
Nice. You see that about 20 feet ahead of you, there's something that was moving on the ceiling of the sewer. Almost like a monkey. It's like very agile and just kind of like skitters into a hole in the ceiling.
Right there. Just see it. It went up into the hole right there. Right there.
No,
It points and he kind of like pokes. He says, I don't like this. I don't like things that crawl on the ceiling. Nothing good crawls on the ceiling.
I once had a very good friend who could turn into a spider who would disagree with you.
I don't like spiders neither. They've got 8 legs and they crawl on the ceiling. He says, it went right up there in that hole.
You're right, Rufus.
Yeah. Thank you, Zephyr. Nothing that crawls on the ceiling is doing no good.
You did spin webs at 8 people times.
Oh,
You know, just saying. I don't, so I just say if we're going to continue, we might want to be careful and look up a little more.
Oh.
Is this hole directly in our path, Will? Is it like if we have to
it's
keep
in the,
walking?
yeah, it's above the sewage itself, so it's not directly above you. You won't be walking, you know, straight under.
Oh,
it.
I see. Okay. Yeah, can I, how far is it? Could I potentially like put my stick in the hole? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah,
if
or
you
like
had a-
shake it free, whatever's up there.
Sure, you know, you could have a rummage round in that.
I'd like to rummage round in the hole on the ceiling, please.
Yeah, with a stick, that's always a good idea. Okay, so as you approach it, you can certainly do that. Drop me like an athletics check, just have a good, you know, hard thwack up there with the stick.
14.
Nice. A 14. You give it a good hard kind of thump, and you hear this little from up there. And then you hear 4 or 5 other kind of chorus of noises coming from up there. Mutt says, "Oh no, that's not. That doesn't sound good what you just done."
No, it doesn't. I told you there was something. Rufus says, I've got the heebie-jeebies. It's not just one thing on the ceiling. That sounds like lots of things in the ceiling.
And then you see one big, long, black, hairy leg pulling itself out from that. And it's like dripping in sewage. It's dripping in the
Put
green
it back.
sewage. It's almost as big as an arm as it comes out. And it fits through this bigger hole that you've created. It had a whack around. And you see his 8 long legs kind of pulling out and holding itself onto the ceiling
I
as
told you.
it drips in sewage, and its 4 companions join it as well, making this horrible.
Mutt, please tell me that's your friend that you were talking about.
No, leapfrog, and let's roll initiative.
Oh, God.
JB's. 15 for Rufus.
Nice.
22.
Woof.
I'm on fire today.
15 for
Let's
Miguel.
just knock on wood there. 15, 15, 15, 22.
Everyone roll 15.
Yeah.
Goodness. Alrighty here. So, Farron, what did you roll?
22.
22. Zephyr.
15.
15 with how much index?
3. I
Okay.
think that will put Rufus ahead of me.
Okay. So Rufus and Miguel rolled a 15,
Yep.
and his dex is.
17 plus 3.
Oh, okay. All right. And then let's roll these guys. 14. Good. Okie dokie. So we got Miguel and Zephyr are tied on.
Miguel has a higher deck, so he can
Yeah,
go
you're right.
first.
He's got a high score. There you go. Beautiful. All right, so we've got Farron,